This is the artist Claudia Chaseling. She is a German artist and was born in 1973, which means she's still alive today. She is known for her large-scale paintings that are often created to be displayed on concrete floors and even walls. These are known as murals. These spatial murals fill the wall and seem to drip onto the floor with organic shapes, swirls, and waves. Chaseling chooses to use colors that are bright, which provide high contrast with negative space that is a shiny aluminum gray. Claudia Chaseling is an abstract artist, so a lot of times her art doesn't look like anything. It is fun to put shapes on a page and see where it goes. Let's learn how to make art like Claudia Chaseling. So little owls, we are ready to create art like the artist Claudia Chaseling. You're going to need some white paper. I have a piece of cardboard here. It's an old box that I cut the flaps off of. Scissors, glue, aluminum foil, crayons, markers, and a sponge that's damp, which means there's water on here, but if I squeeze it, nothing's gonna come out. What we're gonna start by doing is put some of our materials off to the side, and on your white piece of paper with crayons, you're gonna practice drawing different kinds of lines. If you remember from a previous lesson, we learned all about lines. So today, you are going to draw those lines and fill the whole page. I want you to go horizontal and vertical. So I can practice curly lines, straight lines, zigzag lines, wavy lines, you name it, you can draw it. I'm gonna speed up the video as I draw all my different kinds of lines, side to side, horizontal, and top to bottom, vertical. Page filled up, I'm going to use washable markers, so that'd be Crayola or the Rose Art washable ones, but it needs to be the water soluble ones so that it can transfer onto that white page. On the aluminum foil, I'm just going to put nice big blocks of color, just like this, all over the page. You can use a color scheme or family, or you can just use all of the colors to fill the aluminum foil. You want it to be as big as your piece of paper. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to take that damp sponge and I'm going to just wipe my lined piece of paper. I put this off to the side so that way I don't get that wet. So I'm just making sure I get water on all of my paper here, but it shouldn't be a big puddle. You just want it a little tiny bit wet. Then I'm going to take my paper and I'm going to flip it over onto my aluminum foil, press it down. I like to flip it over so that way I don't get marker on my hands, but artists like to get messy too, so if you want, you can. Just rub that first side there. I'm making sure to get the whole thing rubbed. That's going to create the ability for that color to transfer over onto your paper. Here we go. Let's reveal the fun. How neat, right? I can reprint it if I want, or I can leave these white spots just like this. And now we're going to take this piece of paper and turn it into parts of our collage. Now that I've let this dry up just a little bit so it's not damp anymore, I'm going to turn this page over, and with a marker or a pencil, I'm going to draw just a few lines that separate my page. So maybe I get a wavy line. You want your lines to be easy to cut, so I'm thinking about, will that be easy or hard? Can I cut that line? So if I'm going to do a zigzag, I'm not going to do a whole bunch of them. And then maybe just a straight line. Then I can go vertical. I'm going to repeat those lines. Wavy, zigzag, straight. You can do as many lines as you would like, but don't go over 10. Next, I'm going to cut right on those lines to make pieces, almost like a puzzle. I'll speed up the video as I cut out every piece. So I have all my pieces cut. Now I'm going to use my cardboard here to create a base to glue my collage on. When an artist creates a collage, they take pieces and they glue them together to make a new piece of artwork. So this is that piece of cardboard I had. You can use just a thicker piece of paper, whatever you may have at home, or you don't have to do this tinfoil step. You could just glue things right on another paper. So I'm going to cover this entire cardboard piece with glue. If you have bottle glue, that's going to be a little bit better. I actually don't have any of that right now here at my house, so I'm making do with just a glue stick. I'm just going to need a little bit more than I would with the bottle glue. Remember that tinfoil we had from earlier? I'm going to glue that right on there. I'm going to use the side that already has marker, so that way I have a fresh piece to glue things on. Get that rubbed on. I may need to put some more glue on the opposite side here, so I can fold my sides over. You could also trim the extra aluminum foil off, but I like making things work. So, as I just folded, right along the edges here, trying to keep it from getting wrinkled. And fold these sides over. May need a little more glue. I have some right here, just like that. And now I have a base to work on. So I'm going to take my collage pieces here, and I'm going to glue them in interesting ways all over my page. But I'm going to leave some of the aluminum foil showing just to add some contrast or interest. That's going to make these colored pieces pop out. So I'll get my piece that I'm gluing on, get it glued, stick it somewhere interesting, and continue around the page. I'll speed up the video so you can see my finished artwork. So as you can see, I have a few pieces left over. I can either make a second collage out of these pieces or recycle them. But here you have a finished piece. It's abstract, so it doesn't have to look like anything. It's just a matter of getting pieces glued together and assembling them in a way that you think is fun. All right, little artists, have at it. It's your turn. I can't wait to see what you create.